Evening. Welcome to Old Iron Garage. Thank you for tuning in. So this evening, up on the makeshift bench that I slapped together, we have the Kohler KT17 engine that is out of my Bolens QT17 tractor. And I am going to do something I originally hadn't thought of doing, but I decided to do it. I'm going to point you guys over here, and I will show you what I'm going to do. All right, can you guys see okay? All right. So, we have here the exhaust. If you look here, you can still see some factory paint on the muffler. They're still kind of all over, especially the ends and up here. Some amount of original factory paint left. I decided, you know what? I've got the time and the supplies I need to clean up this exhaust and repaint it. I am going to be using, actually there's a partial can of it right here. I've got some partial cans of this stuff. I got a couple full cans of this stuff. VHT, turn it so you can see it in the light. VHT Flameproof header paint. It is a ceramic coating. It is good for up to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, that one doesn't have much in it. But I've got more of those. I've got several of those cans, more than enough to do this exhaust. So what am I going to do to prep it? The manifold pieces, the cast manifold pieces are going to come off, as well as the hardware is all going to come off, and it's going to soak in a container of Evapo-Rust that I have over there. If you've never heard of Evapo-Rust, guys, this is good stuff. Here's some still in the container that I haven't even used yet. Evapo-Rust. This stuff dissolves rust. Yes, so anyways, that is good stuff, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get these exhaust clamps off and try to take a rubber mallet and tap the muffler off of the manifold pieces, and then I'm going to remove the manifold pieces. So you can see the manifold pieces look a little wet, as well as the hardware. I went ahead and, since I got this engine out and power washed, I've been, every now and then when I'm out in the garage, I grab a can of PB Blaster and I spray down the hardware so that it will more easily remove. I'm going to go ahead and just loosen this hardware. So, some of this is fairly loose already. That one's not. I'm going to say none of this should snap off because I've been really soaking it in PB Blaster. But I can't guarantee it won't. That one does not feel promising. There. Here. It's my little squirt bottle of PB Blaster. Just, it's low. Come on. There. Add a little more. Kind of work it in a little. Feels like it's loosening up a little bit. I'm going to let the impact do the rest of the work there. Just going to finish breaking all this exhaust hardware loose. Hopefully not actually breaking it. I guess I could have taken this extension off. I needed it to get the lower nuts on the exhaust clamps. You know what? I might be able to I can almost spin those upwards. I might not need the extension at all. Now, what do you know? The PV Blaster did the job. All this mounting hardware for the exhaust is going to go into the evapor rust. It's going to get cleaned up. Oop. That fell off. I will locate that clamp piece off camera. I'm not going to waste your time doing that. This ain't going to be a long video, guys. Threads are still looking good. I don't see any reason I can't reuse this hardware here. A little bit of cleaning up. Should be fine. Now, see if I can carefully tap off this muffler. If it doesn't want to come carefully, I may just leave it together as one unit. I was hoping to get the muffler off of these manifold pieces because I want to soak these manifold pieces as well as the exhaust clamps and hardware in the evapor rust. Oh, before I can tap this muffler off, there is one more piece of hardware down in here holding it on. Let's take a look. That's going to be a little tricky to get to. I believe that to be 1/2 inch. See if I can get a little wrench up in there. Nope, it's smaller. Let's try a 7/16. I doubt it's smaller than 7/16. It is. It's kind of dark in there, so I can't really see it well. So, but apparently it is 3/8. If I can find my 3/8 wrench. I probably had it lying out, using it on something and did not. There it is. 3/8. Let's give that one a go. Can't be any smaller than that, surely. And there's just not any room in there. Goodness. How do they expect one to remove this? It's coming slowly but surely. I have to keep flipping the wrench around here and there in different directions to get it to go. Goodness. Is there by chance a slot in the end for a screwdriver? No, there's not. Oh boy. Alright, well, I'm going to get a small 3/8 socket and swivel and extension. And ratchet, of course. Hopefully this will do the trick to get up there. It's a 1/4 inch drive, so fairly small. Should be able to weasel it in there. And still too long to fit on that head. come on. I can just barely start to grab it to turn it, but it just slips off. Oh. I do have a 3/8 ratcheting wrench, but you know, those are a little bulky, or they can be. But I'm gonna give it a try. Yeah, there's just not enough space to ratchet it. Let me try one more thing. Let's get rid of the swivel. Maybe I can get this little socket on there at an angle. Slight angle, but still have it fit on. Oh, barely. I'm turning this by hand, and I'm just barely getting it out. I don't know how I'm going to get it back in, guys. Oh. Wow. That was kind of ridiculous. Got it. That was annoying. That was tricky. Okay. I'm gonna grab my rubber mallet and tap, tap. I don't know if the rubber mallet will do it. We're gonna try, because I would like to not damage this nice muffler. Nice original muffler in good condition. It appears that it is moving, guys, slowly. Or rather, one side is. The other side does not appear to have budged yet. So, come on, start working. A little more PB blaster. I'm going to put a little more on this side. It'll just help a little. So I don't really want to do this, but I'm going to get out my ball peen hammer, give it a few lighter taps. With it being metal, not rubber, it'll impact it a little harder. I am causing a slight bit of damage to the muffler where it's crimped, but it appears to have started moving. So, I'll go back to the rubber mallet. Oh, there it is. This muffler still appears to be in fine condition. I didn't cause any damage where it's welded at all. Looks to be all still solid. Not cracking or breaking off. That's good. So I'm going to set this muffler off to the side. Next, this should be a bit easier, a little less risky. It's the manifold pieces. Some of these studs may come out with the nuts and some of them may stay in. We'll see what happens. I would love for them to all come out, but we'll see. Last thing I want to do is break a stud off, so. And I do have new exhaust gaskets ordered. From the eBays. They are on their way. So I won't be reusing these old gaskets. They would probably be fine. But while I have it apart, I'm going to replace them. So here we are, guys. There's a longer manifold piece and a shorter manifold piece. I'm going to spray these two studs with PB Blaster in hopes that I can maybe loosen them. Come on. As a matter of fact, I'm going to spray the exhaust gaskets themselves because these don't appear to be the metal ones. These almost look like paper. Usually if you can get something to soak all the way through an old paper gasket, it will help it to scrape off a little easier. Alright guys, well that's that. Before I let you go, before I sign off here, I have got some parts that are ordered for this tractor that have come in the mail. We'll just run through those real quick, see what I got. Alright, so a lot of this is quality parts, but some of it is not. I'm going to try to clean up and use the original fuel pump, but in the case that I am unable to do that, I've gotten this cheap aftermarket fuel pump, just in case. That will at least get it up and going until I can source a quality OEM fuel pump. Genuine Kohler air filter with pre-filter. A pair of PTO belts. A pair of OEM Champion spark plugs. One OEM Kohler carb rebuild kit. See? Kohler. One gasket that goes between the carburetor and the 90-degree elbow. One gasket that goes between the 90-degree elbow and the air filter housing. One gasket that goes between the carburetor and the intake manifold. Two plug wires. And then the fuel pump came with assorted elbows and whatnot, a short piece of fuel line, a cheapo fuel filter, stuff like that. A couple of fuel line clamps. That is what I have so far. I do have those two OEM Kohler exhaust gaskets coming in the mail. The plug wires are Sten's brand, so aftermarket, but still a decent quality part. I use Sten's sometimes when an OEM part is either not an option or not the best option due to price or availability. I have no problem using Sten's and certain other aftermarket brands. I do try to shy away from the cheap, no-name Chinese parts, such as that fuel pump. But worst case scenario, if I cannot get this OEM original fuel pump cleaned up and running as it should, I'm going to use that until I find a better option. So, all right, guys, thank you for... Oh, wait. We're not done yet. I was going to sign off, but I realized we're not done yet. So, I got to clean some of the greasiness off of the parts I'm going to soak. And we'll soak it in the Evapo Rust. Just got some carb cleaner here. I would prefer brake cleaner, but this is what I have on hand at the moment. Times are tough, so I can't always stay as stocked up on certain supplies as I would like to. Sometimes when I run out of stuff, but bills are due that week, you know, I just gotta wait for another week to get what I want and make do with what I have. Worst case scenario, I could always dip these in a container of gasoline, swish them around, but you know what? Sorry, I am not all here tonight. I should have pointed you down so you can see what I'm doing a little better. I'm not all here tonight. I am a little bit under the weather. So, yeah. Sorry if I missed something or if I seem a little off. I'm just going to spray the greasiness off of that mounting hardware there. The Evapo Rust will work a lot better by doing this, by cleaning like a lot of this PB blaster off, or the majority of it off. It will just work a lot better that way. Let me see if I can locate that other piece real quick. There it is. Something to fish that out of there with. I just stuck a magnet on a gasket scraper to make a little something to reach it with. So, alrighty. Now hose these down one more time. These are still looking a little greasy. Not as concerned about the hardware, but because I'm not going to be painting the hardware. But these manifold pieces, I like to get all the rust dissolved off of them and sprayed. So, but I'm going to soak the hardware anyway, just to get rid of the rust. Let me make room over here. I'll bring over my little bucket that I have the Evapo Rust in. We'll drop everything in. Okay, this Evapo Rust looks pretty nasty. Looks to be very dirty. That's because it is. I've used it before. This stuff is reusable. So let's start dropping the hardware in. I am going to try to get those two remaining studs out of there. And I'm going to put the remaining fresh Evapor Rust that I have yet to use in here, just to add a little effectiveness. It's kind of a clean, or a clear light green color when it's new. It turns very murky when it's used. I will save this container, because when I'm done with this stuff, I kind of filter out any sediment and I put it back in here. This is great stuff to have on hand in your garage or shop, guys. I'm telling you, great stuff. Give it a day and a little bit of scrubbing, and these things should be looking fairly clean. All right, guys. That's all I have for you at this time. I want to thank you for tuning in with me here in Old Iron Garage. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, if you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. Share the channel with any friends that you have that might like it. And have a nice night. I will see you later.